We're going to start, though, with big news coming out of Virginia Tech. Right now, the Hokies are introducing their next head football coach, James Franklin. He is coming to the stage here momentarily. As you know, Franklin was just the head coach for several years of Penn State University, in which he led that program to high heights for several years, being let go earlier this year. Now he lands with the Hokies of Virginia Tech, that they were searching for the football coach who could bring them to the heights that they saw years ago when they were under the realm of Frank Beamer, and they were considered one of the best programs in the country. Recently, they've had some challenges, but now they believe they can make the next big splash with Franklin. So without further ado, we're going to head down to Virginia Tech in Blacksburg, Virginia, as they introduce their next head football coach.
I can tell you that never gets old. If it doesn't make the hair stand up on your neck, you might not have a pulse. At this time, I'd like to welcome to the podium our very first speaker of the day. Please join me in welcoming the rector for the Virginia Tech Board of Visitors, Mr. John Rakovich.
Well, good morning, and thank you for being here. When I became rector on July the 1st, it was evident to our board, our administration, our alumni, and I believe all of our constituents that the time had come to elevate Virginia Tech's financial commitment to athletics, and specifically football. On behalf of the Board of Visitors, Jay Pearson and Ryan McCarthy took the lead in working with the administration to work out the financial plan. They also took the lead on the search committee that President Sands appointed to lead that, along with Bruce Arians and Bud Foster and Brad Hobbs and Eddie Royal. I'm probably missed somebody. That resulted in what we have here today, an outstanding coach in Coach James Franklin. I will promise him our full support of all of our constituent groups, and I will also promise him that Blacksburg, Virginia, and Virginia Tech will be the best place he ever lived. Thank you.
Thank you, Rector Rakovich. At this time, it gives me great pleasure to welcome to the podium Virginia Tech President, Dr. Timothy Sands.
We are so excited to welcome Coach Franklin, Fumi, and their family to Blacksburg and to Hokie Nation. I'd like to thank our athletic director, Whit Babcock, and our administrative team led by Chief Operating Officer Amy Sebring, and of course the Board of Visitors led by Rector Rakovich. The Invest to Win plan approved in September is really transformational, and the first clear evidence of that is sitting next to us right here. At Virginia Tech, there are four primary reasons that we invest in athletics. The student-athlete experience is a leadership training ground. Number two, the experiences shared during major athletic events create indelible ties between students, alumni, and the institution that really seed future engagement. Third, athletics at the highest level elevates Virginia Tech's brand beyond Appalachia and the Mid-Atlantic. And fourth, our local economy is critically dependent on athletics. When we invest to win in football at Virginia Tech, everyone wins. I'd also like to add my thanks to the search committee, including Board of Visitors members Jay Pearson and Ryan McCarthy, as well as Bruce Arians, Bridget Ryan Berman, Lynn Dowdy, Bud Foster, Brad Hobbs, and Eddie Royal, who, with the support of A.D. Whit Babcock, Rector John Rokovich, and University Legal Counsel Kay Heidbreder, led us to this outcome. This is really an all-star committee, and each one of them invested their time and energy to ensure that Hokie football is positioned to win in this new era of college athletics. The future is bright. Go Hokies. And now our athletic director, Whit Babcock.
Yeah, thank you all for coming, and thank you to those watching online. Today is a landmark moment for Virginia Tech football, and we are thrilled to introduce and welcome James Franklin as our next head coach. Today is a statement about where we are headed as an athletic department and as a university, one built on alignment, investment, and ambition. Coach Franklin is a proven program builder, a winner, an elite recruiter, a strong developer of men, and a relentless competitor. His track record speaks for itself. Coach has succeeded everywhere he's been, at Vanderbilt, at Penn State, and throughout more than 3 decades in this profession. He's shown he can elevate programs, sustain excellence, and attract top-tier talent both on the field and on the sidelines. His combination of leadership, discipline, energy, and vision aligns with everything we want Virginia Tech football to be. This hire was made possible because of our Board of Visitors, President, and university leadership were committed and aligned from the start. Their invest-to-win mindset and willingness to fully support the athletic department and the future of Virginia Tech football was extremely instrumental in attracting a coach of James Franklin's caliber. This unity and support reflects a powerful commitment to the student-athlete experience and to elevating our football program back to the national stage where it so rightfully belongs. I also want to thank and acknowledge our search committee, a very talented team with complementary skill sets. They were deliberate, thorough, insightful, and focused on finding the best leader for our program. They were tremendous. Job well done. Coach Franklin brings a lot to Virginia Tech. A championship-level resume, including a top 12 final CFP rankings, 7 of the last 9 seasons, and a national semifinal appearance last season. New Year's 6 bowl game success and a Big Ten title. He brings a commitment to developing student athletes as people, students, and competitors. He brings a dynamic recruiting presence with deep national relationships. He has heavily recruited and succeeded in recruiting Virginia and the Mid-Atlantic region and beyond. He brings a strong vision for program building, culture, and long-term sustainability. He brings a genuine passion for this role, for his players, the community, and he embraces the opportunity to write the next chapter of Virginia Tech football. Virginia Tech and Coach Franklin both have something to prove to the entire country, and we will do it all together. He also brings an appreciation for family. His priority of and love for his wife and 2 daughters was evident throughout this process. It's way more than just football to him. We are a family at Virginia Tech. This is home, as we like to say around here, and the Hokie family is ready to welcome the Franklin family with open arms. A message to our players who are in attendance. You are the heart of this program. Without players, there would be no coaches. Coach Franklin is here because we believe he can help you grow, develop, and achieve your goals individually and collectively. We are and always will be committed to your experience, well-being, and success. So I certainly want to thank our players and all of our student athletes, along with a very special acknowledgement of Coach Montgomery and his staff as well, for all of your, yes. For our players, Coach Montgomery and his staff as well, thank you for your effort and perseverance during this season. During a very difficult and uncertain time, we are proud of you. And please know this, all of you, again, players, coaches, and staff, you will have the full support of Hokie Nation behind you this Saturday, next Saturday, and beyond. And finally, a message to Hokie Nation. Thank you for your passion and pride. Your energy makes Lane Stadium one of the best environments in college football. Every single candidate we interacted with, interviewed, or more, always referenced you all and our amazing fan base, including Coach Franklin, of course. Hokie Nation deserves to be rewarded in return and will be very soon. Coach Franklin will feed off your energy and passion. He will build on it, and he will elevate it. The future starts today, and we could not be more excited. Here come the Hokies. Now, please join me in officially welcoming your next head football coach, Coach James Franklin.
Good morning. Love having the core here. So excited about partnering with you guys. It's something that makes this place unique and special. Couldn't be more excited about this opportunity. My wife, Fumi, my brother-in-law, Jason, couldn't be more excited about this opportunity and being with you guys this morning. I want to make sure that I get a chance to thank everybody that's been a part of this process. That's probably the thing I'm most concerned about, that I don't miss anybody. But starting with President Sands has been awesome throughout this entire process. His commitment to our program, his plan for the program, the investment in the program. In today's college football, there needs to be alignment. There's no other way to do it. That is from the rector to the president, to the athletic director, to the head football coach, and most importantly, the fans and alumni. And President Sands has been phenomenal throughout this entire process. Could we please give President Sands a round of applause? I'd also like to thank our rector of the board, John Rakovich. I was fortunate to have an opportunity to fly to the board meetings yesterday in Northern Virginia. I found out very quickly. John said, look, you'll have your time tomorrow, but I run a tight ship in these meetings, so keep your message short. But I want to thank John for his leadership as well. That's been phenomenal, and obviously this relationship is going to be critical moving forward. And then most importantly, Whit Babcock. Whit has been relentless throughout this entire process. He has been authentic, he has been transparent, and he's been honest. And the opportunity to be able to get to know Whit on a more significant level has been a big part of this process for me. Back to what I was talking about before, the alignment is so important. And having an athletic director with Whit's experience and with his character has meant a lot to me and my family. So I want to thank Whit for his leadership in this process. I'd like to acknowledge Brent Pry. Sorry. I always say I'm not going to get emotional, and then I get emotional. So, Brent Pry is a good friend. Gosh. Brent Pry's dad was my offensive coordinator in college. Gosh. Brent's dad was my offensive coordinator in college. I've known Brent for over 30 years. Brent's first year coaching was my senior year at the Harvard of the Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference, East Stroudsburg University. I know you guys are all very familiar with it. And then Brent and his family was with me at Vanderbilt all 3 years, and then I think for our first 7 years at Penn State. So I got a ton of respect for Brent and his family. I know he poured his heart and soul into this place. I know this place is better today because of Brent and the commitment that he made. So I just want to show the respect to him. I know how much coaches pour their hearts and souls into this job, and I just wanted to make sure that I gave Brent the respect that him and his family deserve. Been in this profession for over 30 years and have learned a ton of lessons. Started in Division II, worked my way all the way up, got my first big break in the ACC, been a head coach in the SEC, been a head coach in the Big Ten, and now obviously fortunate to have this unbelievable opportunity in the ACC at Virginia Tech. But all these experiences, all these lessons that I've learned, we're going to pour them into Virginia Tech. And I feel like it's going to put us in a really specific position to separate ourselves over a ton of different schools. There's very few head coaches that have had the experience in the SEC, in the Big Ten, and the ACC. And we're going to use all those experiences and resources for the betterment of Virginia Tech. I want to thank Penn State. I had 12 years there. It's very unusual in college football to get 12 years at a place. Most importantly, the relationships, the staff, the players. The players here at Virginia Tech are going to find out I'm a player's coach. That's what it's all about for me. That's what it always will be. Just to be very clear, though, just because I'm a player's coach doesn't mean that there won't be discipline and accountability. I'm an old school guy. I'm going to coach you hard, but I'm also going to love you hard as well. When you do something well, there's going to be nobody that's going to celebrate and show more appreciation than me, but there also will be accountability in our program every step of the way. I believe that young people have a chance to achieve their goals and their expectations, both individually and collectively, when they know how much you truly care about them. Young people want to be coached. I think there is a myth out there. I think there's a concern out there in today's major college football that you can't coach these guys. I don't think that's true. They're going to be coached hard, they're going to be developed hard, but they're going to be loved and cared for as well. I want to thank Coach Beamer. As everybody knows, Coach Beamer's the man, and he built this place. And I've asked for the blessings of two people. Sanya Allah, my father-in-law, I called him and asked for his blessing to marry his daughter, Fumi. And then the night before signing the contract, I called Coach Beamer and asked him for his blessing of taking over his program. I was a little concerned because I called him 3 times and he didn't answer the phone. So I called his wife and she said, "I'm sorry, Coach, we didn't have your number." But I was able to get Coach Beamer's blessing, and that means a ton to me. I'm somebody that values the history, the traditions, the legends, and obviously nobody's more important than Virginia Tech football than Frank Beamer and his family. This place has produced some all-time greats. Michael Vick, Bruce Smith, Antonio Freeman, Corey Moore, Cam Chancellor, Tyrod Taylor, Kevin Jones, Christian Darrisaw, David Wilson, D'Angelo Hall, the Fuller family, the Edmond family. I can go on. And obviously, some people, I don't want to disrespect anybody that I may miss, but it's just been so much history and tradition. And at the end of the day, this is a player's game. I'm not sure why, but the plays just seem to work better when you got really good players. We had a running back at Penn State, maybe you guys have heard of him, named Saquon Barkley. And for some reason, when we handed the ball off to him, the plays just worked better. So coaches get a lot of credit, but this is a player's game. When you talk about some other things that I think are important to everybody here, is in my 15 years, we've always done it the right way. There's no shortcuts in building a program. And I think we have a track record that shows that. And I know that was important to all the men on this stage as well. Winning is really important. There's nobody that understands the importance of winning more than me, but there's also a way to do it with character and integrity, and we'll continue to do that and represent Virginia Tech the right way, both on and off the field. The passion is critical. We talked about it on Saturday. We've already started recruiting. 2 nights ago, I had 40 players on the phone, young men that are committed to Virginia Tech. Also called all the top players in the state of Virginia as well. And we are going to need this stadium rocking on Saturday. One of the things that was important is me and my wife, when we were making this decision, we watched your game day the last few weeks, and it was impressive. During a challenging season, I want to give Coach Montgomery a ton of credit as well. The stadium is rocking. The guys are playing hard. And that's going to be important. We're going to have a ton of recruits this weekend for an official visit, and I want them to feel the energy in our stadium. So I'm going to ask you to pack that stadium for us. I can't wait to run out Enter the Sandman. I've been watching that intro to college football my entire life, and it is something special. And I'll watch it this Saturday and pay Coach Montgomery the respect that he deserves. But I can't wait to have the opportunity to run out in that stadium. I want to make sure that I go back and thank the search committee. I want to thank Bud Foster, huge part of this. It's great to talk to the administration. It's great to talk to the board members and the donors and the former players. But for me to be able to talk coach to coach with Bud has been extremely valuable. Bruce Arians, Ryan McCarthy, Jay Pearson was relentless. I don't know if everybody knows Jay Pearson, but this guy is relentless. He sent me a box of ties and what I call pocket squares. He calls them handkerchiefs. But sent me a box of ties for today. Brad Hobbs, Eddie Royal. I had a tremendous conversation with Eddie Royal one night as well. So I want to thank all of them as well. I also want to talk about recruiting the current players. This is a unique situation where I'm here early. One of the challenges always when you're taking over these new jobs, you're always recruiting for the future. Well, the most important thing is recruiting our current players. I'm going to get a chance to visit with those young men today. I think a lot of times the current team is worried about the new coach coming in and wanting his own players. The day I signed the contract to be the head coach at Virginia Tech, they're all my players. That is the current team, and that is the players that we're going to bring in for competition. And the reality is people worry about, well, is he going to have favorites? Yes, I am going to have favorites. My favorites are high production and low maintenance players, coaches, and staff. As for coaches, I'm going to bring the best fit for Virginia Tech. We're going to have an opportunity to attract some of the best coaches in the country. That will be in terms of spending time with the current staff and seeing who makes sense to keep on with us, because those people have obviously poured their hearts and soul into this program. Also bringing some coaches from other places as well. But that's going to be a very important piece of this process as well. But, in closing, I just want to thank everybody. I want to thank everybody for coming out this morning. I want to thank the search committee. I want to thank the leadership. Everybody has been phenomenal, and I couldn't be more excited. My family couldn't be more excited about our future here at Virginia Tech. You could not have found a coach that's going to pour his heart and soul into this place more than me and my family. I give you my word on that. Sorry. Sorry, you're going to find I'm an emotional guy. I don't take things for granted. My wife makes fun of me. We'll be sitting there watching, TV, and a commercial will come on, and she'll look over, and I'm getting emotional about the commercial. She's like, "Are you kidding me right now?" But I just think I don't take this for granted. I don't take my family for granted. I don't take my career for granted. This is all I got. I don't have any other hobbies. My wife says I don't have any other skills. I want to be a great husband. I want to be a great father. I want to be a great football coach and represent this place the right way. So thank you so much for this opportunity. Go Hokies.
And there you have it, your new head football coach of the Virginia Tech Hokies, James Franklin, coming over to the program from Penn State University, where he led that team to some pretty good years. Hopefully they're trying to bring that to Virginia Tech. And how about bringing to the set is Connor Real, who, I don't know, I feel like you have a personal connection to Virginia Tech.
Ever so slightly. They were nice enough to give me a degree despite my flailing GPA.
Oh.
They said, you know what, maybe if we give him this certificate, he'll get out of here. And so, yes, I do have a slight connection to Virginia Tech. I first want to say how nice it is, a meeting of the morning and afternoon streams here.
Yes, this
Lightning
is something that they wanted to avoid.
Yes.
Didn't they talk about that in Ghostbusters? It's not wise to cross the streams.
They've already been crossed. The streets are crossed, as have our paths. So we've got James Franklin now.
Yeah.
And I want to bounce this off of you because James Franklin at Penn State, he was known for having a high floor. You are going to win 8, 9, or 10 games every single year, and you're going to beat all the teams that you are supposed to beat on your schedule. Mm-hmm. He was also known for having a low ceiling, right? You are probably not going to beat Ohio State. You are probably not going to beat Michigan. And I believe he won 1 Big Ten championship in his time there. Never made a 4-team college football playoff. Did make last year's 12-team college football playoff. So you've got that low ceiling. Now, I have a couple friends who are Penn State grads, and they've said, well, get ready to lose in all the big games that you play, right? That's kind of their thing with James Franklin. Guess what? I just want to play in a big game again.
Yeah, and
we want the high floor.
Craig, we were talking about this. You're a Missouri grad,
right.
Big-time fan, and I feel like you would take that deal any day.
There are a lot of similarities between the University of Missouri and Virginia Tech. I was with the Alumni Association. They were talking about fan bases, money support, the whole thing. I think this is as good a hire as Virginia Tech could hope for.
You couldn't ask for anything better.
No, and
you
him
could not.
Coming back, he's got an amazing recruiting base here in Virginia. If he shores up the borders and keeps his local players here in Virginia, going to Virginia Tech, this program is going to be awesome once again. There's going to be a lot of happy Hokie fans for sure.
He would dip into the DMV and get recruits all the time. If you go back and look at the top 10 recruits in Virginia, every other year, every third year, he's grabbing 1 or 2 of those guys. Notably, Keandre Lambert-Smith from Maury High School, one of the greats that we've had in this area over the last decade, went to Penn State with James Franklin. He knows how to recruit the area, right? He's an experienced head coach. He knows how to build a program. He's managed a lot of games, right? He's managed a lot of people. He's gone through different cycles of players and quarterbacks. He hasn't just had one good 4-year stint where he got a couple good classes based off of momentum. He's also come up in an area where he now knows how to manage the money a little bit. They were very successful with their NIL, retaining talent, bringing talent in. So he seems to check every box. The only thing that happened is that this year, I believe the Penn State Nittany Lions were on the brink of a true breakthrough in the James Franklin era. They make the semifinals last year. They're number 2 in the country going into this year. They lose in overtime to Oregon, and the bottom falls out.
And I think one thing I want to bring out, I had to look this up for myself because sometimes I'm an LSU fan, as you guys know. We get lost in the moment at times, right? Sometimes we think we are something that we're maybe not, okay? And so I want to bring this up. Joe Paterno, we know, legendary coaching career, which ended
Joe
in
Pa,
a,
sure.
way in which was terrible. But when it came to wins and losses, how many national championships did Joe Paterno actually win?
2, I think.
2, 1982 in 86.
It's been a minute.
It was a long time for Penn State. They did have 5 undefeated seasons, but the last one was in 94. Before that, it was 86, and then 73, 69, and 68 before then. So we're talking about Penn State, and yes, it is a great historic program, but we're not talking like they were winning championships every year for the last 30-something years. That wasn't happening. So, for James Franklin, again, one of the best coaches in college football. If you're Virginia Tech, you're looking at the standards that Penn State gave themselves, honestly. Now you can bring that to Virginia Tech, a little less pressure.
A lot
but
less.
You can,
you look at this, since Beamer left, and I had to look this up, I didn't realize only one 10-win season since Beamer left. That was 2016. They went 10-4. The Hokies, which were so fantastic for so long, have had their ups and downs. You get somebody coming back here that's going to be excited to come and land in Virginia Tech. I think you've got a long-term solution here for Virginia Tech. And, you don't want to put carts before horses. But assuming he comes in, he's able to recruit the way he has and manage the transfer portals and all of that, I think this could be a fantastic marriage for this university, and you guys could really have something.
And he said it in his press conference. He said, hey, all you Virginia recruits.
Yeah.
So he's already putting the word out that if you're in Virginia and you are one of the top athletes, he wants you at Virginia Tech. And I have a feeling James Franklin can make that call, and there are kids in the state who might want to stay within the Commonwealth.
Absolutely. And to your point, Eugene, you talk about the expectation at Penn State. Part of the recent high expectations are because of what James Franklin built himself. He established that bar for himself to try to live up to. It's a bar they feel like he wasn't going to be able to get across. But then he went on College Game Day a week or two after being fired, and he seemed fired up. He does not seem to want to take a break. He said he doesn't have any hobbies. He doesn't have anything else. He family and football. And that's kind of what Virginia Tech is all about as well.
I think his line was, we thought we'd be able to win that championship there. Now I'm just going to go somewhere else and do it.
Yeah.
And so if you're a VT fan, you got to feel good about that.
And another thing I feel good about as a Virginia Tech fan is he talked about how close he is with Brent Pry and the Pry family. That means that he absolutely had long, in-depth conversations with Brent Pry about what the administration is like
what
over
he's
here
stepping
at Virginia
into,
Tech,
sure.
about what the organization is like over here at Virginia Tech. And he would not have taken that job if he didn't feel comfortable with our leadership, our president, and our athletic director.
It also says a lot about Brent Pry.
Yeah.
Because can you imagine, he could have probably dogged the program after getting fired, but it doesn't appear that that's what happened. I can't imagine James Franklin would say, hey, let me go to this program that did my boy dirty.
Right.
No, it definitely would. You would think Pry spoke highly of the opportunity. So.
You think about the fan base, too, and again, we're not just playing to the home crowd here, but the Hokie fan base is rabid and ready to go. So you've got a highly energized, successful fan base that's ready to really get behind the Hokies. I would say the table is set. He just needs to come and eat.
Yeah, and now it's got to work. You got the guy that you want. It doesn't seem like there could be a better possible hire than this. Let's get in there. It's got to work now, especially with UVA football on the rise a little bit, right? You've kind of been the big brother in that rivalry. This year, UVA spent a lot of time in the top 25. They look like they're still competing for an ACC title, and so you need to make sure that you don't let that rivalry get out of pocket a little bit.
Y'all couldn't beat ODU.
Now, hold on now. All right? We're having a really nice conversation.
And I think with that, I'll go ahead and take myself on out of this.
We are having a
For the record, mad respect to the Monarchs.
Absolutely.
I don't know why Eugene said it.
I didn't say it like I was dogging ODU, but come on now. Don't sit there and not talk about Old Dominion.
Now, I will.
They have your number.
We were having a really nice conversation, okay? Things were going extremely well. So now, before you leave, I have to bring up the fact, has the Louisiana governor found a new head coach for the LSU football program
We have not,
yet?
but you know, I'll come back when that happens, okay?
Well,
As long as it's not Eli Drinkwitz, I hope you get a great coach, Eugene. Eli would be the
college football coaching carousel.
Shout out to ODU. All right.
Shout out to ODU. Thank you, Eugene. You're the best.